Bethany Manctelo here. Welcome to our Millwall fan show with some new voices, but the same focus. Just everything Millwall. Enjoy!
Welcome to the 2023-24 series of Millwall No One Likes Us Talking's Our Millwall Fan Show. I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of George Lampey, Patricia Maslin and Steve Warren.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
Welcome team and listeners. How is everyone? Are you okay?
Yep, fine, Miles. Hello.
Yep, getting ready for Christmas.
All good here.
Good. Pat, when Saturday came, were you satisfied by the outcome?
Before the game, if you had said a draw, I'd have been quite happy with that. And especially after the last two games before that were like dire. And you must have started thinking, had we done the right thing, bringing Edwards in? But after the game, I think we should have just edged that and we should have won that game. But, I mean, the performance was so much better. There was more urgency and bite within the team. Denore's injury was a bit of a worry there because he's out next week. But, I mean, apart from that, I think it was a really entertaining game. Obviously, the penalty shouldn't have been given. We know that from replays. But I think it was very awkward for the referee to see. I know everyone's blaming the referee. Perhaps more so the linesman should have seen it. But all round, very entertaining, very promising, and hopefully we'll push on Saturday.
We can only hope, Pat. George, are there any positions in our team that you see being essential to reinforce to match Joe Edwards' possession-based play ethos and maybe bring success in the short term?
Well, I'm going to answer this quickly because I have to edit this show and I ain't going to spend all night with this answer. I tell you what it was Saturday. It was blooming cold, that's for sure. I think our wing play needs to improve and maybe replacing people on the wing would be something I would look at. You know, the midfield seems to be all right. I'm just a little bit worried that down the wings we could do better. The one thing that I think would make our team stronger and better attack-wise is if we play two people up front. People will tell me that we play three behind the front man and they're meant to get there. Most of the time they're not getting there and the forward is isolated. I think that is the big thing that we should be doing, not just playing one man up front. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure everybody else has theirs. So that would be my answer on that one, Miles.
Steve, why do you think there's a desire amongst some fans to continuously create numerous unfounded stories across social media? Just like, Alex Aldridge and Kavanagh are now preparing for League One. James Berylson has not got his father's interest in Millwall and will sell the club, apparently. And when we could have signed Ballard, we messed around so much he went elsewhere. What do you make of it, mate?
Well, it's not easy to say, really. I mean, if people read something on the internet and they believe it's gospel, then it's like a bit like a Chinese whisper. The story gets retold and embellished, and then it sort of seems to turn into fact, and that's not helpful. It's worse, it can harm the relations between the pitch and the terrace. It's easy to sit behind a keyboard or a phone and just share something and then it reaches a wider audience. If people see this stuff, they should ignore it. Don't pass it on. Don't give it air.
Well, I totally agree with that, Steve. I just wonder why lots of our supporters, when they see this sort of rubbish, keep on churning it out or take notice of it. I think that's exactly what they should do. Ignore it for what it is,
Yeah, no one's saying they shouldn't have an opinion, but they should just filter out the rubbish. It's easy to see. I just don't get it. We all know what's going on as fans. We go down there week in, week out, and quite frankly, none of that's true, and it's just complete rubbish.
Yeah, agreed. My thoughts on the game on Saturday was I think we should have won it. I wasn't there, but I've seen the extended highlights, and from what I saw on there, we should have won the game. And from the stats, I mean, I know you can't really go off stats, but from the stats, it seemed like we dominated them. And the penalty. Obviously, as you said, Pat, after replays, it doesn't look like a penalty, but in the moment, it could have looked like a penalty, especially from where the referee was. But as you say, the linesman should have picked it up as well. He didn't. So, it is what it is. We'll take the point.
It was a big improvement, though, Miles. It was a big improvement. That's right. Yeah. I came away thinking it was a very good game, actually, a good game of football.
I did too.
And it was, much improved.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think they were lucky that Jack Clark didn't get sent off. I mean, he was actually kicking Leonard even off the ball, and the referee saw that, and he did nothing.
Yeah. Well, for the penalty,
sorry,
for the penalty, it should never have got that far because the defender actually handballed the ball to knock it down because he was going to be beaten, and then he made the pass that ended up with Clark. And that was done right in front of the lino. So actually, sort of 5-10 seconds before the ball gets there, we should have had a free kick.
Yeah, and as I saw a thing earlier in the week, Joe Edwards was asked about VAR in the Championship. He doesn't want it, and I don't want it because the FA already hate us.
Yeah, no, I don't like VAR. I think it kills the game.
It's not working, is it? It's not being used the way they said it would be used, isn't it?
And
they need to modify it, don't they? Yeah.
No, 100%. I don't want it at all. Kills the game completely.
Yeah. I think it will come to the Championship at some stage. So, and we all moan about referees and we never get a right decision. But I can still see when it does come, and if we are in the Championship, we'll still be moaning. So I don't think we're going to win that one.
Well, exactly.
We might get a few penalties. So we might get a few penalties with. There's at least one a week on Jake. So.
Yeah, but that's only if the referee asks for VAR. I mean, if he just ignores it, we're not even going to get that, are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless he actually stops the game and asks for the VAR to be looked at. If he just ignores it, we were in the same box.
Yeah. We'll take a break there and hear from Jess Tuffield and Debbie Julians from G&M Motors.
Hi, this is Jess Tuffield from G&M Motors. Operating from a modern and purpose-built facility in Milton Road, Gravesend, G&M Motors offers a complete range of new Honda cars and services. As well as new Hondas, we have an extensive range of used cars, including ex-Motability cars from a variety of manufacturers. Specialising in new Honda cars, G&M Motors has been retailing quality new and used vehicles to the people of Kent and South East London for over 4 decades. We have been a Honda dealership since 1972 and are the country's longest serving supplier of this renowned marque. Conveniently sited just 2 miles from the A2, 10 miles from the M25 and Dartford Crossing, visitors to our showroom are assured a warm welcome from our experienced and friendly staff. Our facilities include an on-site workshop capable of providing full vehicle servicing and repairs, as well as an extensive parts department offering genuine Honda parts and accessories. The expertise of our skilled mechanics is not limited to just Hondas, but extends to most makes and models of motor vehicles. Whatever your motoring needs, visit us at G&M Motors today. The newly extended hours of our G&M headquarters means that you can contact us from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturdays. To contact us, call us today on 01474 365 026.
Thank you, Jess. Debbie Julians here. Don't forget to call Jess on 01474 365 026. G&M Motors have been dear friends of the Julians family for over 4 decades now. From my dad Lenny to me, Debbie, Lions together.
I'm Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us talking team of Patricia Maslin, Steve Warren and George Lampey. Many thanks to our sponsor, G&M Motors of Gravesend and Mepham. Please do go out off to their Gravesend site and see what they have on site. Our first guest is a Millwall fan, man and boy. He joins us on a regular basis, and we are mightily proud of what he and his team have achieved in the name of Millwall. Let's extend a warm welcome to the one and only CEO of our Millwall Community Trust, Sean Daley. Hello, Sean.
Good evening, Myles.
Hello, Sean.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, Sean.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you? Okay, Sean?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Sean, it's great to have you on the show, mate. once again, obviously, before I hand you over to the panel, I have a question. What is it? What is the primary driver behind Rainbow Laces, and what is likely planned to support the campaign this season?
Yeah, so Rainbow Laces is a national project run by the FA, and the idea is that we show our respect and our ally for the LGBT community. I think our game this year is going to be in February for the Club of Millwall, but it's actually Rainbow Laces up to the 10th of December. So I think Cardiff on Saturday, the players will be wearing Rainbow Laces for both teams. But it's a way of showing our support for the LGBT community. So we're very much behind it. You know, we've got the Romans and the Pride. So we're very much about supporting that this weekend.
Brilliant. Right. Sean, Pat here.
Hiya, Pat. How are you?
Hello. All right. Yeah. Last month, we were sad to see the Brown family leave the Harvey's Den Cafe, obviously located in the Lions Centre. Can you tell the listeners what is happening to the facility now?
Yeah, so when I took over the Lions Centre, there was an area upstairs that was used as a cafeteria. It wasn't really used very, very much. It was sort of like more a tea and coffee place. Very much the community trust is about giving people an opportunity to create something. So I wanted to open it up as a cafeteria. So I put it out to Kelly and Ella and said, look, do you know anyone who would like a facility? It's all kitted out, got everything in there, the tea, the coffee, the pizza makers, got everything in there, but would like to run their own business. So Vicky and Dean came to see me and said, look, we'd love to open Harvey's Den here. And I said, look, it's all yours, you know. It's just a facility that I would like used. Could you go and use it? Run your own business. It's rent-free, electric-free. I just want a service for people to come in and use. So they've been there for about a year. They've made it their own. They've painted it. They've done all different bits. It's been brilliant. But then about a month ago, they came to me and said, look, circumstances have changed at home a little bit and they can't commit to it as much as they wanted. But they still want it to stay as Harvey's Den. So they've got a friend in there now who's running it for them. And I just want it to be a place. It's a friend of a family that are running it. So they're her and somebody else. And they're just going to run it. And all I want it really to be is somewhere where people could come and meet, have a cup of coffee, and someone to start their own business in there. So it's still Harvey's Den. It's staying as Harvey's Den. And it's just a friend of the family who's going to run it. I mean, Vicky and Dean were in the other day to make sure everything was all right with it. But it will continue. Whatever happens, it will continue as a cafeteria and a cafe for some people to come and meet.
So is that just on a Saturday? Or is that during the week as well?
No, it's open during the week. So my staff eat there. All our students that go to our AP and our post-16 eat and drink there as well. So it's open every day. It's open in the evenings for the academy that train there. So it's open every day. And Vicky and Dean did that. They opened it every day, but they've got more issues at home now they've got to deal with. They just couldn't commit the time to it. But it's a great facility, you know, and it's the same as the gym. You know, I've got someone that runs the gym for me. He wanted to own a gym, couldn't afford a gym. And so I said to him, look, I've got a gym in the Lions Centre. I don't want any money for it. I just want people to use it. And he just runs it free of charge, runs his own business out of it.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Good stuff.
Was it popular on match days, Sean?
You wouldn't have been too happy this Saturday. It was full of Sunderland supporters. So they arrived early because they'd left at 7:00, and it's very different from the cafe across the road. You can see that's Millwall, and it's very busy. Our one's more of a just come in, have a cup of coffee. They do meals and that in there, but it's just a relaxing place. But yeah, on match days it's busy, and we're trying to get it as busy as we can. I think this week they're going to go around giving out flyers of the next home game to say, look, it's on, come to it. But it can only grow. But it's just a little social area, really, for people just to... And it was full of Sunderland supporters at the weekend. They loved it because, one, they didn't want to go around there. There were families as well because if you go around to the stadium, it's just people drinking, isn't it? Where you go upstairs to the cafe and it's families were sitting around having a chat. There's music going, and they were mixing. There's Millwall fans and Sunderland fans. It's brilliant.
Oh, that sounds really good. I should have got in there, shouldn't I?
It's open all the time. Still there.
No, I meant as running it.
Okay. Hi, Sean. It's Steve here.
Hello, Steve. You all right?
Yeah, just before you get to the question, neither Bethany or I have been on the show with you since Bethany got married. Just like to say thanks for your kind wishes that you shared ahead of the show, ahead of the wedding.
Oh, no problem.
On other joyous news, it was brilliant to hear that the 5 Millwall Roman players won gold medals playing for Stonewall FC. They were entered as the Stonewall Lions at this year's 11th Gay Games in 2023 in Mexico. What an achievement, Sean. And will the silverware be shared between Stonewall and the Millwall Romans?
First of all, I didn't know about them going out there. Paul kept that very quiet because I would have said to Stonewalls, well, no, we're national champions, so we should go out and represent England. But for me, I think it's a great achievement. It just shows you how much the Romans and the Pride have grown in our 3 or 4 years that we've been working with them. Yes, it's going to be shared between Millwall and Stonewall. It's an achievement in the whole of that football programme that we deliver. So I haven't caught up with Paul yet, but since he's won a gold medal, he's not talking to me very much now. So he's sort of like, I presume I'm going to see him at the centre dash, and I'm going to have to bow to him when he brings in his gold medal and all that. So, I think it's just a great achievement for us as a club. Them as to the Romans and the Pride, I just think it's unbelievable, and it just shows you how far we've gone with the programme.
It's brilliant, yeah.
Brilliant.
Great. Georgia, Sean, hello, mate.
Hi,
Your new safeguarding, equality, diversity and inclusion lead, Jason Vincent, is familiar to us over a number of years as a trustee and obviously of the MCT. Most recently, Jason featured on our Maritime radio show talking about Black History Month and what it meant to him. He has a fantastic profile of work and is held very high esteem by our own Jeff Burnage. What do you see Jason will bring to the role, and can you tell the listeners why such a position is necessary?
Yeah, Jason's worked with the Trust for 3 or 4 years now. Ever since I've been involved in it, he came on as a trustee, and he's been very influential in helping me with things like the Romans, female football, all different things around it. He's very known in the community. And one of my big aspirations is that I want Millwall to be a club for everybody. And I want to get that local community coming to see how great our football club is. Jason has got those networks within that local community all around Southwark and Lewisham. So his role will be very much to support the work that we do, but very much about how do we engage different parts of the local community to come to our club and to get involved in supporting Millwall. And that's going to be his role. And he's been an unbelievable trustee to me. When the role came up, we managed to get the role through the EFL. Jason interviewed the same as everybody else, but he was head and shoulders above everybody about his knowledge about the local community, his knowledge around football, and his knowledge around the trust. So for us, it was just a great fit. But what I think he will bring to us is, one, helping us help us really get into the population and what they're like around Lewisham and Southwark, and really get them coming into our club. So he'll go in and work in schools, and get young people to come into the club. He'll go and work in local communities around Elephant and Castle and around down in Southwark. So it's quite exciting for us because, we want a bigger stadium. We want everything, but we're going to need new fans. And I think that's what he'll bring to us.
And he's such a bubbly character, isn't he? I mean, he's great, isn't he? Yeah.
He's only been in a week, and he's lively as he's like in my office every 5 minutes. And but nothing. but nothing's a problem. So like I'll say to him, look, we're going to do that today, and he's like, yeah, I've got a great idea about this. But he's only been here a week, and he's already made some difference already in it, you know. So it's great for us and for the club as well, because he's going to be working over both. He's going to be working over the trust, helping with our programs, but then also working with the club around different issues they have and how we can generate new fans into the Millwall family.
Brilliant. Right, it's Pat again. Right. You've been nominated in the Southwark Business Excellence Awards 2023. The award for Best Charity, Cooperative or Social Enterprise. Getting to this stage is a massive achievement in itself, and voting has already closed. Were you surprised at being selected?
One thing that we don't sing enough about is what we do, but I think that's because we're sort of in it and working all the time, and we're not there for accolades or anything like that. We're there to make an impact in the local community. But in the last 2 years, people start nominating us for the work we do. So for us, it's a great achievement. Like we won that Lewisham Business Awards like a couple of weeks ago, and then to be nominated for the same award in Southwark is you know, for us it's unbelievable. And we're in with some great people. You know, there's other charities that do some great work around there. But what I think people are beginning to do now is people are beginning to go, community, you know, the work that Millwall do is like unbelievable in the community. I mean, even Gary Rout, when he was on TalkSport, he literally said on TalkSport, you wouldn't believe the work that Millwall do within the local community. It's like mind blowing what they do. So I think people are beginning to say we're not just a football club. You know, we're making so much impact there, and it's an absolute honour just to be nominated again. It's all down to voting. So it's, you know, whoever votes the most, and we try to get a lot of the fans to vote and that, and hopefully, well, it's a bit like the Lewisham one, hopefully we can be on the night, you know, we can get that award if possible.
Brilliant. Fingers crossed.
Thank you.
Well, Sean, it's that time of year again, and there's some festive wants and needs high on the MCT's agenda, so I have a couple of questions. Firstly, Stan, Ted and I have thoughts about the Centre Dash on the 16th of December. As I understand it, you've got outfits for Stan and Ted which you've held over from previous years, which is disappointing on our behalf, and worse news come through when we discuss the team's participation. The youthful Myles has got an ACL problem, George has got sciatica, Pat's recuperating from a knee replacement, and both my knees have had it. Stan and Ted might be able to do a walk around a pitch. Is there anything you might be able to offer that's for the less able, and tell our listeners that are able how they can take part and what to expect?
Well, this has been going on with Stan for about 4 years now, so I'm expecting nothing more.
Stop talking first.
Has he turned up at all yet?
No, I'm sure I was only 16 when he first said that he was going to do this one.
He's 47 now.
Yeah. And I had a lot of hair when he first said he was going to do it. I've got none now. So Centre Dash is an annual thing that we've done for about 4 years, and we did it during COVID as well. We ran to Lewisham Hospital and gave presents to all the nurses. So we do it. It's a bit of fun, you know. We're going to make a donation to Crisis like we do every year. And all it is that people would run to St Paul's and would run back. They have blue centre outfits. And all they've got to do is register with Kai Bennett at our office and then just join up for the day. They turn up around 10 o'clock, start off from the stadium. So it's literally right out the stadium to St Paul's, stop at St Paul's, have a hot chocolate, run back. We all meet at 12 o'clock because there'll be some that are very fast and some that are slow. Meet there, and then we finish off with a little run around the pitch and then get a medal at the end, right at the end. Then we go into the Harvey's Den upstairs and we'll have a cup of hot chocolate and some mince pies. And they keep the outfits, and if they go into the game, they get a ticket for the game. They go and sit there in the blue outfit. What I will do, I'm not happy about this, but I will offer them to walk around the stadium to collect their medal. But when they come out, I'm going to take the medal off them and the suit.
Please get Stan to walk around the pitch in the blue Santa outfit.
So if they could meet me at 11:30 at the Lions Centre, the two suits will still be there. I'll take the dust off them because I've been here a long time. And then when the other runners come, they can just join in and pretend they've ran it. But then I'll make sure it goes up at the giant screen at half time that these two are frauds. And they never ran.
We'll let them know.
Yeah. But yeah, they're welcome. I'd love them to come down. I'd love them to come down at 11:30, put the outfits on and walk round and collect their medal. Because I think that's the only way I'm going to get them to do it. Because we're going to be talking about this again next year, aren't we?
And you'll have to take Ted's out a bit, Ted's uniform, because he's put on weight since last year.
They only come in one size.
All right.
Lastly, Sean, can you tell the listeners about how we can support the joint venture between yourselves and the Lions Food Hub in getting donations for the Christmas Toy Hub?
Yeah, so something we found last year was that we did the hampers last year, which were great. We did about 60 hampers last year, which was Christmas Day in a hamper. So everything was in there, from like the starters to their turkey to the potatoes to the vegetables, crackers, tinsel, everything. So we literally give a family a hamper and everything's in there. The thing that was missing was for the young children were toys. So what I've done this year is we've opened up a toy donation session. So it opened up on the 1st of December. I think it's 1st of September or the last week in November. And people can just donate toys, either brand new toys or second-hand toys, as long as they're in good condition. And what we will then put them do is we will wrap them and put them on the side, and we'll say boys or girls. And then the families can take that toy. So we know the children are going to get a toy. So it's just for supporters or anyone just to bring in unwanted toys or brand new toys. We don't mind. And they will just go out to the families that are using the food hub with their Christmas dinners.
Nice one.
Yeah. Sean, I've got a couple of questions. Firstly, you hosted the meeting of the event aimed at broadening the horizon of young football enthusiasts. The Football Association, supported by the Premier League, shares Millwall Your Game. The FA's Steph Powell spoke with Eamon on Our Maritime ahead of the event, which drew many inquiries. And Steph told us post the event that it was a fantastic couple of days for all involved. However, how did you get involved, and what is your post-event reaction to it all?
Yeah, so I worked for the FA in my time at Charlton, so I worked there for about 15 years tutoring, and I did a lot of those programs trying to get young people into working into the industry. You know, a lot of young people want to become footballers, and then if they don't make it as a footballer, they don't see the industry as anything for them. So I did a lot of those group things, outside work, doing things like refereeing, trying to talk to young people about getting into coaching, getting into refereeing, getting into administration or anything like that. So Steph came to me and said, look, we've done one up at Aston Villa, we've done one up at Sunderland, we want to do a London one. But we want somewhere in the community. We don't really want to do Wembley. We want to do somewhere that's right in the community where a lot of young people will come to. So she came to us and said, look, would you be willing to host it? So I said, yeah, of course. So 2 days it was Saturday and Sunday. The FA had people coming in talking about refereeing. They had people coming in talking about coaching, administration. And then we did a workshop around community coaching and community engagement. And there was probably about 100 young people over the 2 days. But a lot of those young people went away and said, look, I'm going to start doing my coaching badges, or I'm going to do my refereeing badges, or I'm going to try and get involved in some community work. So I think it's a great event. I think, young people are the future of us. And young people only think that football is, the 11 players on the pitch, and they don't see all the other bits. And this sort of like workshop and this sort of like program gave them an opportunity to see that, I could do something else in the football industry. I could do that. I could do this. So unbelievable. And we've said again, when they want to host it again, we're happy to do it.
Oh, it's great. Yes, it sounds really good for everybody. Lastly, I've got the Guardian newspaper has looked at Harry Lawson's art film Millwall on the Screen, which features our club and obviously the Trust. How did Harry come to make this fascinating film, and which challenges many of the misnomers surrounding Millwall?
Yeah, so Harry came to us about 18 months ago, and he came to us and said, look, I want to make a film about Millwall. So I introduced him to Billy Taylor, and then Billy came back and said, look, he doesn't want to do a film about Millwall. He wants to do a film about the community work we do. Are you willing to get involved with it? So I spoke to Harry quite a length, because lots of people will come to you and say, look, we'd like to make a film about Millwall, and it's going to be about the community, but sometimes it's not about the community. It's about, the past history. So I spent a lot of time with Harry and said, look, if this is going to be about the community, it's got to be about the impact that we do. It's got to be about the breadth of work we're doing. A lot of people will associate Millwall with one thing. You've got, but Millwall are associated with the LGB football team, the Romans, the girls' football, everything else. I want that highlighted. And to be fair, he was a real good lad. He was. He sort of said, I'm going to have to use some of that old footage because I want to sort of say that is your history, but this is what you're doing, and people don't know about it. So it's very good. He sent me I haven't gone to see it at the screen, but he sent me the actual film when it was done. So I had the film on my computer that I watched. But very creative film. I've sent it to a few of my trustees, and they're saying they're not sure about modern films because it's on. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's on 3 different screens, and there's a different film on each screen as you're watching it. It's quite interesting.
Oh, right.
But it's a great film. It's a real good film, and it really shows us in a good work of what we're doing.
No, that's great. Yeah.
So are we definitely on for the 16th for Stan?
Well, we'll certainly try to get him there. That's for sure.
Well, I think you should ask George as well.
Well,
I've got a bit of... No, I'm sure I can come up with an excuse before then, Sean.
You can lend one to mine, George.
The walking round the pitch don't sound so bad.
No, in the blue centre outfit.
It does if everyone's lapping you, it does, doesn't it? If you're walking around and little kids are 5-year-old and passing you.
Oh, yeah, man. No, maybe not then, no.
Sean, is it St.
Probably get some suds thrown at him as he goes.
Sean, is it St. Paul's? Oh, go on.
Yes, go on, sorry, Myles.
No, is it St. Paul's Sports Ground or St. Paul's Cathedral?
For Stan, it's St Paul's Cathedral, but for everyone else, it's St Paul's Sports Ground. No, I can't send them to St Paul's Cathedral. I'll never get them back.
No.
I have to drive the bus to St Paul's to pick some up that don't want to run back.
Oh, right.
So, no. So they run to St Paul's. We take the minibus down there, and then anyone that doesn't want to run back can get in the minibus. It's full. It's full on the way back. But we'll get there. Yeah.
Sean, before you leave us, it's a tradition on the show. Could you give us a prediction for tomorrow's game away to Cardiff?
I'm going to go for a win for us. I think we're going to turn the corner, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show once again. We'll hear from you again in January. But in the meantime, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, yours, and our Millwall Community Trust team. Bye for now, Sean.
Thank you very much. Sean. Merry Christmas to all of you. See you on the 16th. Yes. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Sean. Bye. Bye.
We'll take a break there and hear what Harvey Brown has to say about the Lions Food Hub.
Hi, Harvey Brown here. I am proud of the Lions Food Hub, which is jointly owned by Kelly and Ellen Webster, and they have been supporting families within our community for over 2 years on Millwall match days. If you would like to donate to them, they have a match day donation hub by the SE16 bar at Coldblow Lane, end of the ground, where they accept any food or money and toiletry donations. If you can help, any donations will be received with thanks.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us talking team of Patricia Maslin, Steve Warren and George Lampey. Many thanks, Harvey, and I might add that the hub is also looking to, as you just heard from Sean, to meet the Christmas hamper requirements of those in need. If you can spare £25, that will help a family at Christmas. And don't forget the Christmas toy donations too. Let's hear from Ellis Barr.
Hello, Ellis here, and I'm glad to be back talking about Millwall. I know many have watched my videos, so you will all know that I don't wear splints as much anymore. Thanks for your support along the way. It is now time to hear what all the Millwall teams are up to. Come on, Millwall!
Thanks as always, Ellis. First up then is a report from the FA Youth Cup third round tie between Millwall and Barking for Maritime Radio by our very own Jeff Burnage.
Millwall's under-18 team came through in the FA Youth Cup third round game at home to Barking, 5-3 after extra time, and in fact they did make quite heavy weather of this victory. Barking were not to be underestimated. They'd knocked out MK Dons in the previous round, and for a non-league club to reach the third round proper is quite an achievement. Cavalli Hayward, Millwall centre-forward, scored a hat-trick on the night. He started with an early penalty. Elidon O'Boyle, who qualifies for both Albania and Ireland, had scored a second. We found ourselves 3-1 ahead when Cavalli Hayward scored his second goal. But then, surprisingly, Barking pulled back to 3-3, another penalty, and then a very good goal on the break to make it 3-3 at full time. However, extra time came along and Cavalli Hayward scored almost immediately to put us 4-3 up, and the fifth goal was scored by a youngster, Sheldon Kendall, who is an under-16, and that made the game 5-3. The next round will be in January when hopefully it won't be quite so cold. It was a freezing night. I don't know what the draw is yet, but I hope Millwall fans will see when the game is announced and will attend in numbers, because it's really good to see these young lads getting a chance to play at the Den. 5-3 to Millwall into the fourth round.
Since that report, Millwall under-18s have been drawn away to Grimsby Town in the FA Youth Cup fourth round. Larry and Chrissy's side are set to play at Blundell Park before Saturday the 20th of January. A confirmed date and a kick-off time will be announced on millwall.co.uk as soon as possible. It's worth making the trip just to have fish and chips at close by Cleethorpes, but even more so to roar the young Lions on.
Yeah, it was a great report from Jeff. It was nice to see that the youth team are finding the net, and we've even found someone who can score a hat-trick as well, and also one from the under-16s sort of stepping up to a higher level. And let's be clear that Barking seems to be a good side as well, so well done.
Jeff Burnage also filed a report on Maritime Radio for Millwall Lionesses' 3-0 away win to Aylesford.
This is Jeff Burnage reporting on Millwall Lionesses, and the in-form Lionesses team, with 7 wins in 8 matches, comfortably defeated rivals Aylesford, who are relegation candidates, by 3-0, and they returned themselves to the top half of the London and South East Regional Women's League. The week before, a big FA Women's Cup tie at Moneyfields next Sunday meant that joint managers Alex Russell and Adam Rowland felt able to ring the changes and give minutes to players who were both returning from injury and pressing for places in the starting lineup. Melissa Jones came in at right back. Maisie Garwood and Shay Bennett started in midfield. Valuable time coming off the bench were club captain Jordan Butler after a really long layoff of over a year, youngster Jess Edwards and midfielder Maisie Joyce. Also, forwards Shana Patricia and Summer Moore were able to get on in that second half, which was an improvement on the first half, with all these players staking their claim for places in the FA Cup team next week. The Lionesses had built a 2-goal lead by half-time with strikes from Garwood and striker Shannon Drew, and in only her second game for the club, Garwood added her own in the second half to give herself 2 goals. After the game, I was able to catch up with centre-forward Emma Witter. Emma, how did you feel the game went today?
For the first half, we was very below par. We was very poor. We turned it round in the second half. We just got the ball, started passing that. But I think for the first half, but I think we just kind of like mentally just played to their level of football. But then we brought it back up, and in the end,
the managers were able to use the whole squad today, weren't they? There were some players got minutes.
Yeah, great chance for players to get minutes as well, so that was all good.
And how are you feeling about next week's FA Cup game?
Always ready, prepare. We're going to prep and do some great training during the week, and hopefully produce that on match day.
Meet at the Den on Sunday morning, get the coach.
Yep, get in the coach, and then we'll meet the rest of the team at Blue Water as well.
Okay, thanks Emma.
Thank you.
Well, since that report, Millwall have actually won 9 matches out of the previous 10 games, which is fairly amazing. And it's all since the tenure of the joint managers of Alex and Adam. This is really some going, and it's really good for the girls. The biggest match since for coming up for the Lionesses against Moneyfield is since they got relegated by the FA in 2019. So it's going to be a massive game for them. They did actually play Moneyfields in a pre-season friendly where Moneyfield scored 8 goals against them. I think we've got a completely different team, and with the new managers there, I can see the girls winning, and best of luck to them.
100%. Off to the City of Cardiff Stadium on Saturday, the Lions will be looking to put more space between themselves and the relegation zone before they head to the league leaders and our FA Cup third round opposition, Leicester City, for a midweek league fixture. Cardiff have lost 3, drawn 1 away to Preston North End in the past 5 fixtures. Errol Bulut was a June arrival in the Valleys as he took his first football managerial post outside Turkey on a 1-year contract. It will be his first experience of facing Millwall, but he is ambitious and said recently on Turkish TV, the team is performing this way and pushing for the playoffs. God willing, by the end of the season, we can earn the chance to get promoted to the Premier League by the playoffs. Well, our record against the Bluebirds has been reasonable since returning to the Championship for the 17-18 season. We have drawn 6, lost 1 and won 3, but they are 6 points above us and will be without the suspended Jake Cooper and George Saville, whilst Casper Dinori is out until Christmas. Will we show a spirited away display after the ending run of defeats last Saturday? Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, I know they're above us 6 points in front, but they've just had back-to-back losses, haven't they? They've got a really good defensive record. I think it's the 5th best in the division. But, I mean, I'm really encouraged after last week's game. The team seems to be coming together. Edwards is getting a grip on it. I'm fully behind George we should be playing 2 up front, and it'd be good to see Zian going up front with who's ever there. We're without Coops, we're without Saville, both because of bookings. We're without Denore because of the injury. But I can still see us getting a point from it. So, yeah, I'm positive about Saturday.
Steve, how about you?
I'm a little bit more positive. I think it's going to be a tight game, and I think we'll get a 1-0 win. And I'm banking on Nisbet to score. I think he's going to start a run of form if we can get him into the team. So yeah, I think it's going to be 1-0 to us.
Pat, did you give a prediction? I can't remember.
I did. I just said a draw. I'll go for 1-1.
Okay. And how about you, George?
Well, I think Cooper and Saville are going to be, a bit of a miss for us, if I'm honest, and it's going to weaken us as a team. I was very happy last week, coming away thinking as a team we played very well. I think it's a shame them two are going to be missing. I would think, and I'm going to be honest here, I would think we'd come away with a draw there at the most. I'm not thinking we're going to win that. I think we'd get a draw. So, but it's very promising. I just think we're very unfortunate with those two being out of this particular fixture.
We will. I think it's going to be. You know what? I think we're going to win. I predict us to win every single game, and I'm going to continue that until I don't know how long. Even if we're in the relegation zone, to win. I'm going to say it will be a 2-1 Millwall win. I think, even though Jake Cooper will be out, I think. I don't know, to be honest with you. It's the fact that Saville and Cooper are both out. It's a little bit annoying, and Denori as well. But the players have got to step up and be a bit more responsible for what they're doing out there. And I think we're going to win 2-1. I think Tom Bradshaw will get the goal. I think he'll end his streak of not scoring, and Kevin Nisbet will add to his third. Get his third in 3 games, isn't it? I think. So we'll take and hear from Bethany and Eamon talking about Clean Feed.
Bethany Manxello here. Clean Feed by Ted Robinson.
Hold up. We're talking about an online recording platform.
Okay. Our Ted Robinson sponsors our online Clean Feed recording platform.
What were you thinking of?
Well, it sounded like a Parfum d'Homme Intense.
Really?
Behave. Just go online and see who else uses Clean Feed. It's a great bit of kit at a great price.
I'm Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us talking team of Patricia Maslin, Bethany's dad Steve Warren, and Jules Lampey. It is a brilliant bit of kit, as Bethany said, and I'm sure that if Lancome marketed a perfume called Clean Feed by Ted, I am certain it would be a great bit of kit too. Looking for something different this Christmas? Well, our second guest, who we were introduced to by some Millwall fans, is a subbuteo artist. Intrigued? Well, she specialises in 100% hand-painted mini and large subbuteo frames. Any team, any season, any kit, just direct message at HELCOL123SUBBU1 on X, formerly Twitter. And I'll say no more and welcome Helen to the show. Hello, Helen.
Thanks so much for inviting me on. Much appreciated. It's a great opportunity to speak about my subbuteo artwork and what's involved.
Hello, Helen. Before I hand you over to the panel, a personal question. You've been engaged in this art form for about 18 years, and the quality of what you produce is outstanding. From what I've seen on X and eBay, how did it all begin?
I've always been interested in art, and my husband had a large collection of subbuteo teams from his childhood. So naturally, the two things just came together, and I started to paint some up for him, and to sell. I enjoyed this, but I wanted to produce something meaningful that could be displayed easier rather than put in a cupboard and brought out now and again. So I thought about painting historical club frames with a collection of kits in, showcasing key moments for the clubs involved. Something that could be hung on the wall or stood on a desk, perhaps.
Great stuff, Helen. Pat here. I design football memorabilia art, but not the subbuteo kind, so I'm not treading on your toes. Normally, what is the turnaround time for producing a mini and a large subbuteo frame?
I've actually produced mini or large frames for most English and Scottish clubs now, but Millwall has definitely been my most popular club. I've got more versions of Millwall frames than any other club. In fact, it's the only team I've painted every single home kit for, from the end of World War II to modern day. I don't have a website, so it is thanks to the word of mouth and the recommendations from the fantastic Millwall community that I've built up such a range of Lions frames. Because there is only me creating the frames, each mini frame can take up to 8 hours to produce, from designing to painting, printing to assembling, and then the packaging up. A larger frame can take 3 to 4 days' work. I can usually complete and send a mini frame within a few days, but unfortunately at the moment I have a waiting list on the larger frames, currently running into February. I never take any payment until the frame is complete and the buyer is happy.
Steve here, Helen. What is an average price for these items?
My single figure frames, which you can include any kit in, start from £25 with free UK postage, whereas the larger ones start from £75 and you can include any 6 kits in this.
Hello, Ellen. George here. Tell me, Ellen, what do you believe is the reason for people to have brought these frames over quite a long period of time?
I like to think they are a really unique football gift that showcases 2 of the most important things to a football supporter: the club history and their retro kits. The great thing is you can include any kits in the frame. I've done achievements, favourite kits, year they were born, special occasions and even memorial frames. I also can personalise the backgrounds and try to interpret favourite players with skin and hair tones or distinguishing features such as a beard. Basically, I try my best to meet the buyer's specifications.
That's great. Well done.
Helen, thanks for coming on and explaining to us about what you do, and we'll feature an image of that work on our podcast cover with your X handle.
Thanks so much for inviting me on, and to all the Millwall community who've been a pleasure to communicate with throughout the years. Good luck to the Lions for the rest of the season.
Thanks for that,
Cheers,
Helen. We appreciate you joining us, and bye for now. Bye-bye. We'll take a break there and listen to Fantastic Fanatics talking about raising funds for our Millwall Community Trust.
Hi, I'm Richard Gordon, and I'd like to invite you to become a Fantastic Fanatic. Fantastic Fanatics is a great way to raise funds for your sports club. Sign up today, find your club, and securely register your everyday debit and credit cards. Every time you spend with our retail partners, they pay a percentage back to your club. It costs you nothing, and you can win cash prizes along the way. Visit fantasticfanatics.com and help your club be the best it can be.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the Noah Lights talking team of Patricia Maslin, Steve Warren and Jules Lampey. Don't forget, it's less than 3 weeks until Christmas, and you can buy a gift via Fantastic Fanatics. You can earn some benefit to our Millwall Community Trust in delivering the programmes they deliver for all. We're all looking forward to the next game, but in the meantime, here are a few matters of interest for Millwall fans and those interested in football.
Millwall Football Club's 23-24 half-season tickets are now on sale on the ticketing section of the club's website. Secure your seat for the home straight and receive the first 3 matches of your ticket for free. You will receive all of the same benefits as a regular season ticket holder, including priority purchase periods for away games and high-demand cup or playoff fixtures, exclusive discounts on Millwall TV, plus subscriptions, exclusive promotions for the Lions store. And wheelchair and disabled supporters need to call 0207 740 3470 to purchase a half-season ticket between the hours of 9:30 to 5 Monday to Thursday, or from 9:30 to 4 on Fridays. Good night, everybody. There you go.
Next week, the show will be back, and Bethany will host Stan, Dave and Dawn, along with a couple of guests. Don't forget Millwall Lionesses are playing Moneyfields in the 3rd round of the Adobe Women's FA Cup on Sunday at 1 p.m. at the John Jenkins Stadium, Moneyfields Avenue, Portsmouth. That's PO36LA, which is about a mile inland of the Isle of Wight ferry port. It's a very important game as the Lionesses set out to get closer to the trophy they have won twice before. Why not get along and give the Lionesses a well-deserved boost with your support? Good night.
Millwall Football Club's annual Centre Dash is back. On the same day that the Lions welcome Huddersfield Town to the Den, Saturday the 16th of December, the Sky Bet Championship kick-off is at 3 p.m. Participants will assemble at the Den for a 10 a.m. start to run 4 kilometres, 2 away from the stadium to St Paul's Sports Ground, Rotherhithe, and 2 back in. This is in aid of Millwall Community Trust. The novelty does not end there either, as those taking part can run in a Millwall blue centre suit or elf suit which is included in the price. For those not wishing to run the full distance, then a 2 kilometre option is also available. The entry fee for Millwall Centre Dash is £20 for adults, plus a blue centre suit, and £15 for juniors, plus elf suit. Don't miss out on your chance to take part in this unique event. To buy tickets, go to Eventbrite and insert Millwall Community Trust Centre Dash 2023. Good night.
Don't forget, you'll be able to listen to the No One Likes Us Talking team bring reports from our games, both home and away, for both the Lions and Lionesses, and also updates on Millwall Community Matters 2 on Maritime Radio, broadcasting on 96.5 FM. Additionally, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter, social media sites, and all popular podcast sites. That's it from me. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Myles.
And thanks, George.
Cheers, Myles.
And thank you all for listening. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there. Good night.